Ted Mackel is a realtor here up in LA County in the Studio City area.
West San Fernando Valley, East Ventura County area.
Okay. And we're here because I think Ted is a disruptor, a little bit of a troublemaker, and an innovator and a thought leader, and somebody that I really respect. And we're just going to sit here and we're going to talk about crazy stuff for a little while. So welcome to this episode. And Ted, let's get this thing going.
Well, what do you want to start with first?
Well, what was really interesting is you started a conversation with Stacy Harmon about some ideas about Facebook and about realtors being on Facebook or the reluctance to be on Facebook, and I wanted to have that conversation with you. Why don't you start with how you feel about that?
There's a couple of things that are really interesting, and the first thing, there's a lot of real estate agents that know they got to do it, don't know where to get started, and there's that real 101 level. And we're actually at my office going to do a kind of a roundtable on that next week, and actually in 2 weeks. But then there's the people, those of us who've been on it either for a while or a little while, and what I find really interesting about it is that as I've connected with other real estate agents, I've gone back over the course of the last couple of years and I'm looking at profiles, and sometimes I got to contact other real estate agents that I've met for referral or for some other type of networking opportunity. And the thing that I've noticed is that when I look up their profile, very little contact information is on their Facebook profile, which I find astounding.
Is that on purpose? Are they locking it down, or are they just not putting it up there?
Well, it's almost endemic industry-wide, because if you go into real estate profiles on the MLS and everywhere else, there's usually old email addresses, old phone numbers, so really just out of a habit of keeping our contact information accurate is really an important thing. But what I'm finding on Facebook is that people are really closed about letting anyone know who they are, and I find that odd for being in sales, because number one, I've always been taught that sales is a contact sport,
right? And
when you're in sales, the idea is that you're trying to meet as many people as possible. You're trying to be that connector and that maven that Malcolm Gladwell talks about in his book, The Tipping Point. And if your Facebook persona, especially in a sales business, is totally shut down, how are you going to connect with other people? How are you going to be a resource to other people? And how are you going to stay top of mind with other people? And now more so than ever, it's a little easier, but before they changed a lot of the email and the messaging through Facebook, your ability to be contacted through messages on Facebook the privacy mode was set to you would need permission to send someone a message. Now by default, a lot of times that's wide open. I think it's really important that your clients will lose your phone number. They'll lose your address. They won't put you in their speed dial. And
right.
So if you've got past clients trying to get a hold of you, they're going to look in the most oddball places you'll never even think. But I would say that if the statistic holds true for California, that more than 50% of the population is on Facebook, there's a good chance people looking to contact you are going to be looking on Facebook before anywhere else.
Well, let me ask you a question. If you're talking to a potential client, do you think they're Facebooking? Do you think they're looking you up on Facebook to see what you're on? I mean, we talk about your clients are Googling you. Do you think they're Facebooking you?
I think there's a really good chance. I think there's better than a 50% chance that they're looking at what you have, but that's kind of a double-edged sword, because if you have your privacy settings for your wall and your contact information closed down to just friends and not open to everyone, then when they get to your profile and it's all closed down, it doesn't leave much of a breadcrumb for them.